Okay, test mic. Live one, two. Right. Technical issue. Sorry, guys. For those of you who are just with us with first episode for YouTube Live, yes, we are just basically going through some technical difficulties. All right, some technical difficulties that we are going through, and while we are reading some of our stories, and basically the whole PCs and the system was shut down. And any particular reason, I think I have no idea why, but again, we managed to bring up the system, and here we are back in our life. All right, so we're just gonna wait for a while for some of the viewers who is with us just now, and then after that, probably our video was cut off. And once we're gonna start in just a short while, and we are just probably in live in YouTube for 1 minute as of now. So just probably another 20 seconds. We're just gonna begin with continue the stories again. Where I stopped with regards the Singapore apartment, HDB, condominium, bungalows, schools, and basically all the places in Singapore that consist buildings. Well, if you're ready, believe it or not, this is creepytalestrioz. Well. Has anyone heard strange noises at night in your apartment? What causes the sound? Any reasons? Any particular hint that you think the reason why these noises existed in your very own apartment? Well, this is not making up stories or neither to make fun or to scare any one of you. But the fact is, until today, we have no proper explanation. The noises in your apartment, in your HDB, in your condominium, and all the buildings in Singapore. Well, in particular, if you're not wondering what kind of sound you'll be looking or you'll be hearing, it goes something like this. Some moving of furniture, moving of chairs. There you go. Probably moving houses, I guess. And last but not least, the most famous marbles. And basically all these three things you have been hearing in your HDB, in your apartment, in buildings of Singapore is quite common. And until now, we have no specific reasons how this really happens, or how, what, when, how it happens. So I did some research here, alright? So most of it is quite common yet unexplainable. All the shifting of equipment, shifting of chairs, shifting of tables, shifting of everything that you can be on top of your apartment. So be it if you're staying the highest floor in the HDB floor, probably could be the 12th floor, 17th floor, or 22th floor. Even you don't have any neighbors staying above you. But remember, when the sound comes, you never know who's staying above you. Well, to be honest, fellow Singaporeans, this sound becomes very common in our current society. Some of our parents have been telling their kids, saying that these are just normal. These are your neighbors moving out house, not in daytime but moving out in the night time. But could it be possible your neighbor moving out after midnight? Or is there any particular reason going out late at night? Well. With this such experience that often is not being discussed, but recently I have received an email sharing with regards these noises, these marvels, furniture and more. Why it happens, and do you think it's kind of paranormal activities? Well, based on some research that I've been looking through, building experts have explained that it's possibly due to the pipes, the pipings, or mosquito traps, and some vibrations that goes through the wall. Then again, think about it. Neighbors playing marbles, pipes making sound that so much sounded like a marble. How can that be? Could that be any correlation? Or just a purely coincidence? Well, indeed, it's a mystery, and of course, with all the scientific explanation, which I believe they don't sound really realistic, but there are stories of paranormal activities instead. Again, legends has said once, in order to appease the spirits of these little kids, the builders, the architects, put the kid cage on the bridge just to appease the spirit of the kids. Imagine a head of a kid on the bridge and being cemented on top. And again, you wouldn't know, I wouldn't know where exactly this head has been. Well, in this story, as much as we are trying to tell you, we can try to believe, or we choose not believe. As you know, is this just a sharing? So, these chocos basically have nowhere to go. They're just wondrous spirit moving around. And there's also a period when buildings were built. Having a fear of the chocos would harm any new building. So what the builders did? Well, the builders actually put every single level in between marbles so that the ghost kids, or technically ghost children, would play with the marbles and not haunt the building and the occupants. Well, again, this is some of the stories that we have been collating, and based on this kind of story when I was still young, when I was still a little boy staying somewhere in the northern side of Singapore. I have to say, these spirits are indeed playful. They are very playful in terms of they know that you are looking or feeling they are somewhere near you. At any point of time, when you come forward and you start looking on the ceiling, they can go slightly silent. In the next moment, when you decide to look somewhere else, and then, just a little while, you hear a sudden movement of the furniture. And back then, I was still so young and I didn't pretty much understand what's really going on. So I often complained to my parents about all this. And again, my parents, they are playing the real part of, you know, not to scare your little child by saying that, oh, your neighbors are just gonna move house. Alright, so based on this story, I believe my parents, and who knows, people like to move house in the middle of the night. Alright, so coming to these days when I'm, a working adult, I was actually looking into all these stories and came by in an email that probably reoccur when I was still young. And then that's where I realized the things that I've been hearing when I was young was not my neighbor that is going out or moving out from their house. So, after much reading of stories, parent stories, emails, viewers who have shared stories about these creepy tales, creepy stories, creepy marvels, creepy furnitures going on, till today, there's no proper explanation why marbles still rolling, a jar of marbles spilling over the ceiling, the movement of furnitures, the dragging of the chairs and tables still goes on. And this paranormal activity would never stop. And believe me, I believe this doesn't happen only in Singapore. Because I believe in Malaysia and also in Thailand when I was away for holiday, you could actually hear similar things, slightly different but similar things, disturbance, or perhaps just a purely coincidence. Well, to those who just believe in this story, or those who don't, no one knows what really happened, why it happened, when will it happen, how does it happen. And when it happens, till today, it's still a mystery. And forever be a mystery. Maybe tonight, before I end my stories, before you go to sleep, or might you fall asleep while listening to this live video, you could hear marbles rolling around the corner from your ceiling room, or probably a dragging of furniture, dragging of chairs. Just remember, just close your eyes, take a deep breath, and try to sleep, yeah? Just think positive, and believe it or not, this is creepy.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, please remember the stories that we share over here are just purely meant for entertainment purposes. Do not at any time take this seriously. And remember, always listen to Creepy Tales. Hi, hi everyone. Good evening, everyone who's listening to Creepy Tales. You'll be following Freddy on a story which I'm going to share with you guys on this episode 12 live show tonight. As we have issued just now, some technical issue we're having during Max and also with there's a lot of unexpected issue that we have faced just now. So apologize for all the disturbance and waiting from all the viewers over here. Okay, so we received an email from one of these guys. He anonymous. His topic about St. John Island. So we have this story about St. John Islands that is having some school camp going on, and these stories about the haunted places that we encounter. So let me start with the stories that was given from this anonymous guy. He was inside a school camp at St. John Island. This is a story where someone said to disclose his identity. I'm reading now to share you guys the story of this person. I had mentioned in school camp at St. John Island. A couple of stuff happened to my friends and schoolmates. We had the all-important night walk. A camp full of girls walking around at night. Without street lights is never a good idea. I'm not too sure how many campsites are there on St. John's Island, but ours was situated near the beach and a patch of forest area. So imagine a whole cohort of a teenage girls with torchlights in pairs in an orderly line with a scatterings of teachers in front and back. We were led into the forest up a very small hill. Apparently, there was cemetery inside or something. I don't know about this cemetery at St. John. I kind of didn't go over there before, but those who have went before, please share your story also. So let me continue. It was too dark to see anyway. And along the way, before we entered the mouth of the forest, there were screams of girls fainting at the back of the line. Lost girls and all the stuff. So we stopped at the mouth of the forest, doing heads counts and what's not, with my partner and I in the middle of it. Suddenly, this curious scene caught my eye. It was approximately 150 to 100 meters away from where I was standing. A line of young students passing our line perpendicularly.
The only problem was I could only see the bottom half of their bodies crossing and passing through my schoolmates in front. At first, I thought it was just the play of lights from the torchlights. But when the teacher at the front of our line shone towards our direction, and I see light passing through the figures, and grabbed my partner's hand tightly. It was a good 5-10 minutes of seeing the figures pass through. Before a sudden scream. From a girl in front, like all of us dashing down the hill in terror. We finally got back in the line and resumed our journey into the forest. The thing is, as we heard all the commotions and chaotic, the line of the student crossing our line perpendicularly was still there and walking. So when he came to my partner and I at the opening scene, I told her to stop when I squeezed her hand and walk when I say, go. I quickly passed first before doing a quick step across their path. But then, I didn't know what is really the figures that we see. Is it something that a spirit of wandering spirits over there? I don't know. So question over here. What is a figure that really he saw? Also, what's the passing figures with laughing sound? Anyone who ever went before to St. John's Island or have been having a camp or fishing over there, you can share with us your stories, and this is just a story. Whether this is a truth or not, nobody knows. And please, do not be obsessed with your obsession. Believe it or not, this is Creepy Tales. Hand over this to Max to continue. Do you have anything to share, or you could just email us to creepytale@gmail.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, students of all ages, please remember the stories that we share over here are just purely meant for entertainment purposes. Do not at any time take these seriously. And remember, always listen to Creepy Tales.
So, how? Did you enjoy our stories? Did you enjoy how we breathe in? Or how did we read it out to you? Well, there was some technical issues over here, but nevertheless, the purpose of this channel is to bring to you stories that may be hidden, not being told, or being suppressed, with no one to share to. If any of you have any stories in mind, do share with us at www.creepytalestrioz@gmail.com. And remember, believe it or not, this is Creepy Tales.